Hello and welcome to Whiskey Resource. My name is Mark. This is review number 140 and here I am in a questionable Christmas jumper. So review number 140 is this dram here, the Lagavulin 11-year-old Offerman edition, Guinness Cask finished. It was released earlier in the year. It was available on the Malt.com, the Diageo website, for a short period as a single bottle. Sold out really quickly. Then Diageo released it as a combo pack where it would be a couple of bottles of Lagavulin together that you had to buy to get this as one of the two. A bit of a tactic that to try and get other Lagavulin offerings sold. So for example, the 8-year-old and the 11-year-old were sold together. The 16-year-old and the 11-year-old were sold together as multi-pack buys. Couldn't buy the individual one, unfortunately, after they sold out the initial release. However, Diageo did release it to various retailers. I managed to pick this up from the Whisky Exchange and it was available for £64.95 for an 11-year-old whisky. That is slightly higher than the regular 16-year-old expression. However, it is bottled at a health of 46% ABV. Spent a period of time in the casks they use there at Lagavulin before being transferred for a 4-month finishing period in Guinness casks. Of course, it is kind of sponsored on the name by Nick Offerman, being the Offerman edition. I'll bring the bottle closer if you hadn't had a chance to catch that. So there he is, Nick Offerman there on the vertical label. And then you've got the Offerman edition name there with the Guinness logo with this box. Now, as boxes go, and a lot of people don't think there's any point in having them, they're a bit superfluous. The quality of this box is quite flimsy. It's quite a shoddy box, not really up to the quality. When you compare it to this, the 8-year-old box, it's a bit better. There's a bit of bump on the back there about the particular whisky, apparently written by Nick Offerman. If you don't know who he is, he's an actor, comedian, starred in hit series such as Parks and Recreation, available on Netflix. I say it's bottled at 46% ABV. Now, being a Diageo release, we don't know anything about the chill filtration status and we don't know anything about the colour. We can assume it is chill filtered, however, at 46%. There's a chance it might not be. And colour, well, if you look at the colour, it's not exactly dark. So we can assume it's not coloured either, but we don't know. Unfortunately, when it comes to the value score, if we don't have those details, it's marked accordingly. So retail price of $64.95, chilled, filtered and coloured we're going on, gives it an average value score of 87.1 out of 100. For 11-year-old whisky, should do a little bit better than that really, in terms of value score. $64.95 is quite a lot of pity, and I think the premium's there because it's a Lagavulin, it's a special edition Lagavulin, it's got Nick Offerman's name on it, it's been finished in Guinness casks. Guinness being owned by Diageo, that shouldn't have cost them anything to do that finishing period. It's their own casks. Just transport the casks to wherever it's getting matured in. Well, hey, so a bit of a stunt there, but it's one that I missed out on the first Offerman edition that they released. And when I heard it was going to be Guinness finished, I was like, well, I'm a Guinness drinker. I love the stuff. Let's give it a go. It is available on the secondary market at ridiculously inflated prices. I had a quick scan there and you're looking at about £200 for a bottle of this, the Offerman. Now, I have had a few drams. I have shared it with my brother. He enjoyed it, but is it actually any good? Well, I've poured my dram, sitting here just breathing. The peaty, smoky notes coming off the nose is quite enticing. It's quite strong immediately. It's died down a little bit. Now it's sat and breathed for a bit. It was really strong when it first got poured. But on the nose, you're getting that unmistakable Islay peat smoke nose. You're getting a bit of brine, bit of sea salt, that maritime influence coming from the coast. A bit of toffee. A bit of berry, maybe. Hints that there's some sherry going on here as well. Some dark fruits, maybe. But overwhelming it is that peat and smoke that's popping there in the nose. It does smell sweet. It also smells a bit creamy, if that's possible. But on the palate, cheers. So on the palate, it is creamy. There's a creamy texture to it, a syrupy texture to it. It starts sweet, then comes the smoke. But the smoke, whilst it's quite powerful, it isn't overwhelming, it isn't dominating. If you can get past that, if you're used to Islas and you can get past the smoke and focus on some of the flavours, you're looking at toffee, which is there on the nose. You're getting some fruits. There's a bit of a citrus note going on there. Maybe beyond lemon, maybe a bit of grapefruit, possibly. Then you're getting some fruits, darker fruits. The berries, not really there as much. More rich fruitcake kind of vibe. Spicy. Certainly got wood spice there. But I think rather than being the typical notes you get off a sherried whiskey, which would be the likes of the cinnamon, you're getting more ginger on this. A bit of pepper, both black pepper and white peppers coming through. Honey, vanilla. And then at the end, you're getting a touch of peat, but it's mainly smoke that you're getting, but a touch of peat. But I'm not getting any dark chocolate. I'm not getting any signs that there's Guinness there other than the kind of creaminess. It undoubtedly is a Lagavulin. If you like Lagavulin 16, then you will probably enjoy this. However, it is a different animal to the Lagavulin 16. I'm not getting any of the minty menthol wisp at the very finish. I'm not getting any of that. It's probably a little bit more bitter than the 16-year-old. It's still a very nice dram. It's not worth the price, unfortunately. My first bottle of Lagavulin 16 I picked up from Costco nearly 3 years ago now, I want to say. And I paid £38 for it, which is a bargain, absolute bargain. The price of the 16 has gone up quite a bit. You're probably looking at the cheapest being about 50 quid. The most expensive, well, I've seen it for 65, which is what the 11-year-old is. Now, if you're a big Lagavulin fan, then undoubtedly you're going to want to try this if you haven't already bought it. But for those who are on the hunt for it and have got a choice to make, the 16-year-old offers more than this does. It's not quite as good as the 16. However, to the left of the 11-year-old is the Lagavulin 8-year-old, which I've not tried yet. It's a brand new purchase. Picked this up, £38, Tesco. It's currently on offer over the Christmas period for £38. Took a while to hunt for it, but I finally managed to get hold of it. So I've not tried the 8. This is bottled at a healthy 48% ABV. So it's good to be able to do a bit of a comparison between this one and the 11 because there's a closer age range than the 16. Of course, the 8-year-old hasn't had that finishing period, but it's slightly higher ABV. Compared to the regular 16, which is a 43% ABV, there's more going on here in similarity than there is with 16. So that's going to be a true comparison, really. Would I buy another bottle of the Offerman? No. Would I buy another release in the series? No. Unless they come out with some really overwhelmingly desirable finish, such as if they were to release a port finished, then I probably would be enticed. But I don't think I'd go for another gimmick like a Guinness Cask finish. 4 months really is not enough. What kind of Guinness Cask were they using? Because when I worked in a pub, the Guinness barrels came in metal barrels. They weren't wood. So I can't help thinking that is bit of a gimmick. I don't know whether they use it in Ireland, whether they use the wood casks, but just seems a bit of a gimmick, and it is a bit of a letdown, really. I've got an idea as to what I think its values, what its overall score is. You'll have to check out my review on the website if you want to know more about that. But I think that's really all I have to say about the Lagavulin 11-year-old Offerman edition Guinness Cask finished. It's just a bit of a miss, really, unfortunately. Enjoyable, it's just not quite there. Laters.